Acknowledging the Lord is an extremely important formality. It demonstrates respect for the current Lord of the Council or Lady of the Council. You know, they won the last game. They are like the Right Honorable Lord of the Council or Lady of the Council.
So whoever wins the last game becomes Lord of the Council.
Or Lady of the Council, and that will hold for as long as it be it in winter season or the next 5 minutes until the end of the next game. They are Lord of the Council or Lady of the Council. Secondes. Okay. Secondes is the smaller hole on not all but many of the holes. If you're feeling brave, you can call on your drive, you can call secondes, by which if you get it through that small hole, you get a -1
on your shot. Your shot effectively doesn't take place, and you can get a 0 on the shot instead of a 1.
Okay. So yeah, it's extremely rare. I think it's only has it been accomplished more than once?
Probably not.
Okay, I think it's only been accomplished once. It's typically done. It's very high risk, high reward, so it's generally only done in times of desperation.
The drawback is essentially the larger hole no longer counts as part of what you can get it through to score a point.
Yeah.
Only the smaller hole counts.
Yeah. So even if you got what would be a natural hole-in-one, it does not count. So
if you've called secondes.
If you called secondes. So it is very high risk. High risk, high reward, and you got to have some stones to call that. Usually when you call it, you're in some dire straits, but it has, I think, been done once or twice.
And then there's $1 million, which is a different. You're betting you're going to get it in, essentially.
Yeah, you're betting that you're going to get it in, which means I think you also get a minus.
You get a 0 effectively on your shot if you accomplish it, but then you get an additional +1.
Yeah, if you don't get it in.
If you don't get it in.
So
in a lot of ways, calling $1 million is higher risk than secondes.
Yeah, because you actually get punished for it. You will get less punishment in terms of points if you don't get secondes.
Yeah.
So circumstance depending is when you should call $1 million versus secondes. Again, rarely accomplished. Some people go deeply, deeply in debt by calling $1 million over the course of a season, which is also tracked in the master stats. I think $1 million has only been accomplished a couple times. It's a little bit easier because you can get it. You can do that through the natural hole-in-one hole.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
It's just if you miss it, then you fall way behind. Whereas if you miss secondes, you don't fall so much farther behind. But if you get it through the larger hoop when you call secondes, that's where you're effectively punished because now it doesn't count. It counts as a missed shot.
Yeah, when you could have just gotten a hole-in-one. You still counted a shot but got a hole-in-one, which would have been better than calling secondes and not getting it through the secondes hole.
The other thing is you can compound those two to get a -1 total on the hole. You can call $1 million secondes, where if you miss, you get the drawback of getting a stroke penalty, and you can only get that stroke through that smaller hole.
Yeah, so it's very higher risk and higher reward. It is the ultimate.
It's the highest reward, the highest risk,
the highest greed.
The highest greed.
The highest greed. And of course, usually only called during times of desperation, but so very exciting. Car penalty is when one's errant shot winds up contacting the car in any way except for with the tires. The tires don't count because they're not likely damaging the car. Whenever you hit the car, i.e. get a car penalty, you get a stroke penalty. Yeah, it's the way she goes.
It's the way she goes. So garden penalty, you don't get a stroke penalty for landing in the garden. You're not allowed to step in the garden, though.
You're not allowed to step in the garden. One must retrieve their Frisbee without
stepping in the garden. The Roosevelt garden rules are specifically designed to allow the player that is behind to come back and potentially snap the victory, or to lose in an epic defeat. Welcome to the learning tree. To summarize the rules of Roosevelt Gardens: 1. Acknowledging the Lord or Lady, an important formality. 2. Secondes, essentially calling that you will go for the smaller hole, not the larger hole, to reduce your score. $1 million, a called shot. If you get in the hole, reduce your score. If you miss, you get an extra stroke penalty. Car penalty, You hit the car, you get a stroke penalty. Garden penalty, you land in the garden, you have to take it from behind the garden, and you cannot step in the garden. You can stack $1 million in secondes, where you can effectively get a -1 on the hole. However, it is extremely high risk.
The highest grade.
Welcome to Roosevelt Gardens. We hope you adapt these rules for your own games and you enjoy the content we provide to you.